I guess I'll give context to Topless before we discuss it a bit. Topless is this Southeast Texan. It's like a makeshift festival. It started out as a Jeep get together where people took the tops off their Jeep Wranglers, and it slowly just devolved into this hedonistic nude beach event. That was just it was just unsanctioned, no permit. Nothing. Shootings, beatings, drownings, beatings.
A lot of nudity.
Lots of swingers, lewd acts on the beach in front of people. Midgets. Yeah, there were midgets dancing around.
That's, I think, the worst part, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stick some of this video. I'm gonna stick some of the old Snapchats on this video. I think. I'm just gonna have them playing while we talk about it.
I think what trumped all of the degeneracy is if you ever go out there for the aftermath when everybody's gone and you see what's left, the beach is dead quiet. It's like that scene in Saving Private Ryan after the beach landing is over with, and it's real quiet. All you hear are the waves breaking, and you see the dead bodies and all the detritus of battle. That's what it was like. You're looking through the sand. There's pineapples everywhere for some reason. There's
glow sticks,
pinky fingers laying on the ground.
There's just tumbleweeds. Dude, I went out there the last time I went, which is probably 2021, 2022. I met a bunch of friends. All I had to do, I parked my car behind the dunes on the beach house side. I walked through the beach entrance onto the sand, and immediately Cherry and a bunch of people are pulling up in an F-250, and they're like, "Get in, brother." I ended up staying at their cabin, and the day after, they all left, and I was too hungover to drive home. So I just drove up and down the beach listening to Ghetto Boys, and I found an entire Chrysler 300 just submerged up to the windows. Just sitting there.
It's
I was how do you even get that out? Do they even take it out, or is it still down there? What do they even do with
it's
that? How do you fix that?
The original Planet of the Apes at the end.
It is. You maniacs! You blew
Damn
you all to hell!
But now I remember. So I haven't gone in 4 or 5 years because since then I've always had a girlfriend or I've been doing military stuff during Topless. Topless is not a place you go to if you're not single.
Oh, actually, you know what? Let me add this context. Hold that thought, because when I was going to do the overview, the point is, it's this Jeep weekend that devolved into this debaucherous 2 days of nudity and drug use. But it's you go there, and half the people are wiggers and scumbags from out of town. But a good chunk of the people at this place are our school teachers, refinery workers, people you go to church with. A lot of regular people, with actual salary, people with 401ks go out here who teach children, people with TRS benefits, and they just go crazy. They go nuts, and they don't care who sees or what's recorded.
They're there to teach children. It's extracurricular.
They are there to teach. That's the messed up. I think the first time we went, maybe the second time, you and me ran across these old cougar ladies that had to be nurses or something. They had a profession, and they were I mean, there's no other way of putting it. They were basically trying to assault us, and I wanted nothing to do with that. So I remember throwing them at you. They were these old wrinkly blonde ladies, and you want to see her bosom, and you got so mad at me because most of what you see out there, again, it went from Jeep tops to actual tops. Most of what you see out there is not something. It's not something you would enjoy seeing. It's not even it's something you would pay not to see. Actually, it's none of the people you want. The cute waitresses, the good looking teachers, being younger.
Yeah,
they're not out there.
No,
it's their parents.
Return of the Jedi, Cy Snoodles, the singer with the long mouth.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting.
That's basically what you're
8 tits.
You're getting the Cajun body archetype out there, and
just walking bowl of gumbo.
Yep, and it's something. But I was thinking the fall from grace, the fact that this used to happen and now it doesn't anymore. It's basically functionally been shut down. I feel like people around here aren't okay. I feel like Topless served this weird like Eleusinian mystery function in the local psyche.
It was a revival of sorts.
Yeah, it was it was a way, like, nobody gets to act like that ever, except for that one weekend. Like, that's when you can get, again, going back to all the professionals that went out there, people that taught us and stuff, it's the only time they could act like that, and it's gone now.
It's kind of like the Purge.
It is like the Purge.
Get that one day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like societies have these festivals. Like, you go back and look at ancient societies, and they always had something like Topless. Some proto-Topless. Like, the Aztecs had, like, a form of Topless. The Greeks did. Romans had, like, Saturnalia for 2 weeks. And we don't really get anything. Like, everyone who works here is stressed. It's not a pretty area. It's polluted. You're breathing crap air all the time. And that release is gone, and I feel like it's messing with us.
Yeah, it's the stuff that would go down there is crazy. The last memory I have of being out there was 2019. I was talking to this Lithuanian girl at the time that you might remember, who was like a good 9 out of 10, like 6 feet tall, track star. I brought her out there because I was like, look, you just gotta see it.
You have to.
I was like, you just gotta see it. So
you can't look away once you see it.
I drove her out there. We parked my truck somewhere, and we start walking on the beach. And I can already tell she's like well out of her element, well out of her element. And we're walking, and we're wedged between like this Jeep that's trying to get past us, and then these parked cars. And we're walking through this narrow corridor trying to make our way up the beach. And this, 17-year-old kid, and I was, 22 at the time, 21, 22. This 17-year-old kid, blocks our path. Literally blocks, the only path we have to move. And he's, jingling beads at her, telling her to, take her top off. But just the fact that this kid would block our walking path because he wanted to see a naked lady infuriated me. So I get in front of her, and I shove this kid, which you shouldn't do that to a teenager, but I shove this kid, and he falls back, trips over himself, and clanks his head off the tire of a Jeep that was driving past us, and then, narrowly dodged getting run over by the next guy. So I was kind of tripping out about that, because I wanted to prove my point to the kid, but I didn't want something like that to happen. And we walk further down the beach. She's already having a panic attack because this is such a sensory overload for her Lithuanian sensibilities. And she's like, hey, "We got to get out of here. Let's just go. I don't want to do this anymore." I was like, no. This is just how it goes. This is just what it is. So I took her back to the truck and we left. And we're driving home, and it's a real quiet drive back. And it was this awkward silence, and I go, "Yeah, I just thought you needed to see it." I just thought it was something you should see. And all she saw was me assaulting teenagers that asked her to expose herself.
It's something, and the teenagers were probably wondering why that happened to them too.
Yeah,
because it's just so it's crazy. Because I remember from experience, the early years of doing it. We would pop some crazy things, and I would just, I think everyone was blacked out, because, it's weird what the beach turns into. The beach is this, always in my mind is this constant, it's the beach, the cotton candy skies, the brown water, the dunes, but it turns into this weird city, the city of the dead from Lord of the Rings. You have people showing up in,
keep it.
The dead keep it, the topless keep it. You have people showing up in decommissioned school buses with non-functional
7-ton trucks.
Yeah, miniguns. Someone brought a decommissioned minigun out there, and it was a real minigun. It wasn't a prop. It just didn't work anymore, and people bring these 3-story stages. So you're sitting on the beach. It's late at night. People have set up EDM stages all around, and then you have another 3-story stage with a whole rap concert going on. Just drive past you.
It gets to a point where you're like, who's funding this? Because this isn't a city event.
No, it's not. It's not a city event. People just sit around. Probably Israel. Right. They're probably the ones that stopped it. because it was the only thing keeping us in this area, like, happily. I don't know. It was keeping us level. It was keeping us at, like, this satisfied level where all the people working all the crappy jobs in the area for good pay, but it's like it's soul crushing work. We all had something that we could just like decompress at, I guess. Something we could let loose and just become an animal for 2 days. Just a shameless animal. And that would like make our lives at home, back where we work, normal. Like it would make it bearable, and it would help you get through the year and like be a responsible citizen. But that's gone now.
I'll never forget one of my favorite. This is a little off topic, but one of my favorite memories of you at Topless was, so you were driving the Caddy at the time, the Dark Knight, and there was some like dance stage or whatever where something was going on. A lot of people were there getting trashed, and you took something. Maybe you can tell me what it was, but you took something.
I don't know what that was.
You took something and went to your car.
Like fentanyl.
I don't know. And I stayed out a little bit longer, and I started feeling just awful. Just very dehydrated, and it was well into the night, and things had cooled off a lot. But it's Texas in the summer, and I couldn't take it anymore. Like, I literally felt like something bad was about to happen to me. And so I was like, John's got water in the car. I got to get to the car. I find the Cadillac after like 2 hours of walking around. And because I know you got water in there, and I go, oh, thank God. And I see you in the front seat. The car is on. You're obviously awake, but you had sunglasses on. And I start knocking on the door because it's locked. I'm like, oh, fuck, it's locked. I start knocking on the door, like, John's in there. I just had to knock. And you wouldn't even turn your head. You were, like, fixated on the steering wheel.
Dude, I remember you being at the window. I don't remember anything else.
Dude, I was, like, pounding on the window to the point of, like, I was almost afraid I was going to break it because I needed this water so bad, and I needed the AC, like, terribly. Because I was convinced I was going to end up, like, in the hospital or dead. And I'm beating on the window, and you just won't turn your head. And there's music, like, blasting inside the car, but, like, how is he not, like, at least feeling the vibration of this? And I'm freaking the fuck out, trying to get into the Cadillac, which you had locked for some reason.
Was that, like, clearly alive?
Yeah, but you were on something.
Dude, and so I remember someone gave me something. They told me it was, like, they told me, like, for the sake of YouTube, I'm just going to say, like, a get-up-and-go medicine.
Yeah.
It totally wasn't.
Well, it lobotomized you. I was pounding on the door, and George pops out of nowhere, and he's like, what's going on? I need Gigi real quick, or John, whatever he's calling you, Gotti. Yeah, he's like, I need Gotti real quick, and I was like, I need him too. I need water. You got any water, George? You got water?
This is MD 2020.
George, you got sweat I can lick? Something? And we're both trying to get in. And then finally, you your hand, you looked like a shambling corpse. Your hand, like, went to the door, and you finally hit the unlock and opened the door. And I'm like, John, I need water. And you look at me and you go, I don't know, crescendo noises and shit. That's literally what you said.
I remember that.
You looked at me and you said crescendo noises and shit. And I was like, what? And then George was trying to get something from you. I can't remember what. And then I'm freaking out that something's wrong with you while looking.
There was something wrong
while looking for water. And George is like shaking you, trying to get something. And I'm like
trying to get a Rillo.
I like push George off of you because it's like, George, this is some sort of medical emergency. Something's going on here. And you're just lobotomized in the front seat, but like wide awake. It's like
dude, I was off. Like, I remember the last memory I had, it was like George and me, and it was Nala's like ex. And he, like, we were all hanging out, everything was going swimmingly, we were drinking MD 2020. We were drinking that pink juice, bro. We were drinking that Toyota coolant.
Jungle juice.
The jungle juice. Everything was good.
I don't like the ritual.
We were
aspect of that.
Well, we were having merry laughs and a good hearty time. And he comes out with these pills that I'm thinking are something that that they really weren't, and he told us they were something they weren't. And the rest of the night is fragmented memories. All I remember is dancing with a bunch of people on a stage, like an EDM stage. And I remember a dinosaur got on a stripper pole, and then I remember walking and seeing more midgets, and I found my car, and then that was that.
Yeah, Topless is it's a soul crushing experience. Honestly, you leave there less of a human than you were before, and yeah, you'll run into 50-year-old English teachers that you had, and they've got counterfeit money on them for some reason. Seen that more than once. And, it's not good. It's like the whole area just loses their head, and people will drive, hours to go do this. People will drive from like Dallas to our area, which is literally, if you're going from Dallas to where we live, you're basically crossing the entirety of Texas from north to south. It is like when Topless pops off, it's like a Batman symbol goes up in the sky, and everybody within a 100-mile radius just flocks to it like moths. And the beach police become mothballs.
But it just got like progressively worse. Like you would always wake up the next morning, and you'd read the articles about them fishing bodies out of Rollover Pass, and shootings, people with micro
nightmare.
Yeah, but it was truly beautiful, and like I do think that like it served a role. I think that has a place in society, and that the more we try to like stamp that out, the more neurotic and dysfunctional we'll probably be in our day-to-day lives if you don't have something like that. I just feel like it's weird that it's gone now, and like
they got rid of it.
Basically, this last year we had to go to Houston to go, I think, do the opposite of Topless weekend. We had to go pick up a wedding dress for Lexi. And when I went to go check the beach webcams, normally if you go check the beach webcams for Topless, it's like some poor, yeah, dude, it's bad. It's like
some chick just shaking her titties in front of the beach cam.
It's bad. But when I went to go check it this Topless weekend, there was nobody on the beach. They had like security checkpoints on High Island.
Yeah, they did cancel it this year, didn't they?
Yeah, they didn't cancel it technically.
No, the rules they had basically
it was
no parking. The rules were literally no parking on the beach.
Yeah, it's like, where do you get parked?
What the hell do you do?
Yeah, you got to have it on the bay side. But the Topless in its glory days, the way I remember it is just like 3 rows, like 2 rows by the beach, 1 row by the dunes of cars, and then infinite traffic going both ways as far as you could see. People getting, like, you'd be stuck in basically the equivalent of I-35 traffic in Austin, and cops would still be trying to pull people over, and they just couldn't get to them. And meanwhile, people are, like, flashing the cops.
Yeah.
Cops
are acting like they're not interested.
Yeah, people are dehydrating and just collapsing.
Yeah, they literally set up like triage centers, like it was some natural disaster. There's rows of people on cots with IVs.
I remember one of the last times I went out, I was already kind of like, I wasn't interested in getting all crazy like when I was 17, during the crescendo noise time. I was just going out there to drink and like meet up with some friends and go hang out at a cabin. But I forget his name, Matt something. I ran into him and some of the younger kids out there, and it was like 3 a.m, and he was like, I know the way to get any girl to flash you. And I was like, how? And he like walked up to the dunes, and meanwhile there's just debauchery going on, right? This is late. All the responsible people are gone. It's only people that are going to shoot each other in an hour hanging out. And he like pulled out like a dune flower, and he's like, I give this to a girl, and then she flashes me. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking? That has the same function as the beads.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, I'm like, they'll do the same thing for a bead. They're not even thinking about it. I'm like, what? He was talking about it like he was going to start selling courses on like this smooth way to like get some girl to talk to you at Topless. Best way I could illustrate it is a homeless guy at Central Park saying, I know how to get the pigeons to bond with you. You get them. You bring them a warm loaf of hot French bread, and I'm like, they'll just eat garbage, right? Like, you don't have to do all that. But I don't know.
The best part was waiting until like 3 days after to look at all the mugshots.
The mugshots were crazy. I'm glad you brought that up, dude. The mugshots on the last one were all like
teachers' daughters.
Yeah, all teachers' daughters. Some people that I hadn't seen since middle school. That like a bunch of names of people I haven't seen since middle school that were all methed out now, like crazy methed out, like, and the charges were crazy. You go read the charges. It wasn't like, public intoxication.
Sedition.
It was like sedition. It was prostitution.
Yeah, bestiality.
There was one girl that I had a crush on in first grade, and I saw her mugshot on there, and she had like all the meth scars and stuff. Just yeah. And she was like, it wasn't for prostitution. It wasn't that she was a prostitute. It's that she was like running prostitution. That was the charge. Like she was a pimp. Like she had an operation going on with like workers. I remember one of the last times we went out there, I think I went with you or Ezra or somebody. I don't remember who was telling me this. They hung out with some guy that drove down from like Idaho. Came down because his wife just died, and he heard about Topless. So this guy took this pilgrimage to the end of the continent to see what Topless was about, and we ran into him like the last day. Like we saw him Friday, and then like somehow ran into him again Sunday, and he was like, it was worth it. He's like I'm doing this.
I think I'm healed.
Yeah, I think I've gone through all the stages of grief. So it was a beautiful mess. I was like, yeah, maybe we should close this chapter for a little bit after that. But I think they should bring it back, man. I think it's like what's happening to the beach down here is they're trying to turn it into some weird poor man's Nantucket. They have all these developments going on.
Weren't they trying to put a casino on the peninsula?
Something like that. I saw another plan recently about them putting.
Galveston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the one I'm thinking of was on Boulevard. But I saw something the other day, like 2 or 3 days ago, that they're going to put some big resort with like infinity pools. I'm like, what are you doing?
The water looks like chocolate milk.
Yeah, the infinity. You would have to make the infinity pool brown.
It's not a tropical paradise. The one thing that Galveston's really known for, like honestly, is
fun and safety.
Well, that big hurricane in like 1900 that killed 1,000 people.